Portia wanted to sing, and I said I couldn't feel you. I should not.
You're doing good. Keep it up.
Yeah,
I couldn't feel you.
I think we're going to have a new intro song.
Okay.
Yes, very nice.
But I shouldn't feel you. Ready, Nan?
Yes, I'm ready, babe.
No, you sing on your microphone.
Oh, sing on my microphone?
But I had earphones on.
Well, I don't usually wear earphones, but Paps does.
I'm going to wear my earphones.
And what are we going to sing?
I couldn't feel you.
Okay.
Couldn't
I couldn't feel you. I couldn't feel you.
No, just sing what Portia sings.
Okay.
And I sing the feel song.
Okay, you sing. So do you?
How can I can't feel you?
And now I say it. Oh no, I couldn't feel you.
I couldn't feel without you.
Do you want Paps to sing it too?
I'm not nearly as good a singer as you.
I know, same.
I couldn't feel you as I couldn't feel you.
Past the fire, past the sounds. Moonshine through the clouds. Saddle up, 'cause there's no stopping me now.
How's this going to go?
How's this going to
You're
go?
going to be able to not work.
Okay.
Because
There's-
right now, I'm seeing like 800 distractions.
I know.
And we're going to talk about cognition and, you know.
Okay, so what's really funny about this is last night the kids were over. The kids, when I say the kids, I mean like our adult children.
Our
and so
grown-ups
Grace
and
and
their
Graham
child.
and Honey were over, and we were talking about drugs. We were talking about cocaine and heroin and meth. And
Where was I?
you were in the camper with Honey.
Oh, we had
So you
set
were
up a
making
restaurant
coffee.
in
Yes.
the camper, yeah.
Yeah. You
okay.
were,
Well, I didn't know I missed that.
No, you totally missed that. But one of the things right now is my brain is literally going in so many directions. I feel like you could look at me and see all the plates that are spinning up there.
Actually, I imagine it like if your skull were like a big attic or a big gymnasium of things, there would be lots and lots of equipment, but it's all wrapped up in caution tape, like do not enter.
You probably do feel that way. It's like, oh, what
Yeah.
kind of mood is she going to be in right now?
Oh, I just kind
know.
of try to stay awake,
This
give you a
is-
little room, give
This
you a
is
little
the
space.
joy of 40 years, though, because I feel like you can read my energy
I can go
before
to the
you
camper
enter.
and set up a restaurant with our granddaughter.
granddaughter, yeah.
Works out great.
So anyways, there's a lot going on. You know, we have people retiling the pool, and so that's a whole project, but everything seems to be happening all at the same time. It's all converged into this 1 or 2 weeks at a time. There's a new business opportunity that we're looking at. The tiling, the Barbara O'Neill event is next week.
That is large.
Yes.
Takes up a lot of space.
It does. Caitlin's travel, you know, so there's all the other things that are happening with our children
Life.
too. Yeah, there's just life things. So I need to finish some of the projects that I started for the Barbara O'Neill thing. I have resources that I want to provide as people, you know, come by the table and check in with us. And so, you know, I need to get focused. A lot of times that focus happens after everybody goes to bed. That's why I stay up until 2:00 in the morning, because that's when I can really lock in on things. But Graham was talking about Adderall, and I was intrigued. So I'm
To
like,
say the least.
wait a minute, I do have an ADD brain. Maybe I should use Adderall. Would that be beneficial?
Oh, this makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Not.
But it's like I just need
Remember
a
that
quick
time you got
fix
hooked on
right
prescription drugs?
It just feels like I need a quick fix right
my
now.
gosh.
I have a lot of other
So-
better tools that I can use besides Adderall.
100%. We're
Yes.
getting ready to go listen to Barbara O'Neill.
I know.
Whose
Who would-
MO is 180 degrees from Adderall.
But I can see where people are like, I need help right now in the moment. And
Well, that's because you've allowed yourself to get into a situation where you're
know.
drowning. That's nobody else's fault. It's not a fault. I shouldn't
was
say
going to
that.
say, I don't take any blame for this, because it's just one of those things that time is an illusion. And who knew that everything was going to happen in the same 2 weeks?
Right.
I didn't know. When I started
So
taking
does
on
that make it
publishing
more
the book.
important to get good sleep or less important to get good sleep?
So far, I feel like I am,
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't run on caffeine. I am really grateful for that, because I
Right.
would be
Which
probably
we're
a
gonna talk about.
mess. Caffeine
Well,
and
stimulants versus
stimulants,
cognitive enhancement
Yeah.
versus, you know,
I didn't bring
settling
any
us
of
down.
I didn't bring any like visuals or
Oh, well, Most people are listening and not watching anyway, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I would have been thinking about that, I would have stopped, because so much of the stuff, and I, just to take the load off, because we were talking about this morning on, hey, what do you want to do on the podcast? We got to get a recording in. So I said something about the benefits versus risks of nicotine.
Yeah.
And and you were like, okay, that's cool. And so usually you will print the notes, or you will do
pull
a search
together,
and get some homework done. And so today I thought, well, I will take that off your plate and get some of my own notes done, thinking you already had too many plates spinning. But you went ahead and printed off some things anyway. But I went ahead and created a cognitive optimization guide.
I love that.
Which I sent to you, by the way.
Yes. Did you send it to my AOL account?
I sent it to your text account.
A text.
I believe I texted you the PDF.
Nice, babe.
You're welcome.
All right.
But it's one of those things, and we'll have Graham put a link to it in the show notes.
Okay.
So if people want it, they are welcome to it. But I have been on this little journey here recently, and here's a little true confession.
Yes, let's hear your true confession.
From probably the 8th or 9th grade, in what used to be called junior high, I think they call it middle school now, I started using smokeless tobacco, actually chewing tobacco.
Yes.
And the reason
this isn't news to me, but it might be to you guys.
Well, but that's what all the Major League ball players did.
Right.
And so little did we know the tobacco industry was using major leaguers to influence minor leaguers or little leaguers.
But isn't that the way of it? The
bottom line is, it's what started out as this fun little thing turned into something that you just don't want to quit. I won't call it an addiction, but I will call it a habit that you just enjoy. And so probably then through high school, and undergraduate school. In fact, I was still using tobacco on a daily basis when you and I met. And then we moved to Palmer to do our chiropractic stretch, and I still used tobacco then. And then I graduated, and just to make a short story long, it's probably only been about 5 years since I had stopped using tobacco.
What made you stop?
God. I mean, it was a total conviction. And so with it, there was no withdrawal. It was a cold turkey, like, just shut up and stop doing that. And my body just, never craved it again. But I used to tell myself I could quit any time. In fact, when I started using tobacco, it was probably like a quarter, like 25 cents for a tin of what was then called Happy Days. I don't even know if they make Happy Days smokeless tobacco anymore. I don't think they do. But there's a whole bunch.
Is that the chew or is that the pouch?
It's dip.
Okay.
Right, it's dip. It's smokeless tobacco that you put in your lip.
Yeah.
And then they started they figured out that not everybody wants that floating around in their teeth when you're having a conversation. So they started putting it in almost like a little tea bag, and they call it a pouch, which is much handier because it doesn't float around in your mouth, and people don't realize that it's there necessarily. Yeah. Unless you're spitting, which could be a kind of a dead giveaway. Or loose leaf tobacco, which is where you see the big, and that's definitely a spitter. Anybody that swallows that is insane. Yeah. But anyway, again, I'm stretching out the story because there used to be a nicotine thing, and nicotine gets a bad rap. We'll talk about that, I think, a little bit too. But nicotine is not the most toxic substance in tobacco. In fact, nicotine and nicotinoids have merit, which we're going to talk about. Yeah. But now there's this kind of craze that I've started seeing where you can use nicotine that's not in tobacco. They'll put a nicotine pouch. Again, it looks like a little tea bag that you would just stick between your cheek and gum for the benefits of nicotine. And then there's this other thing called nootropic pouches. Yes. Where they're putting some other ingredients into what you can just absorb through your skin and your mouth that are either going to be designed for cognitive enhancement or alertness or focus and concentration is how they bill it.
Mental performance, I think, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
All those things.
Right. Because the caffeine people are starting to realize that not everybody wants cola or coffee or whatever else.
Right, because of the calories associated with a lot of that too.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I don't have any calories with these other things, and I can still get energy and focus and alertness. Yeah.
That's the whole bill.
Right.
But none of these things are addressing the question of why am I exhausted? Exactly. Why is my brain fatigued? Why am I not sleeping at
Right.
night? Why are there so many plates spinning in my head? And so it's kind of fun because when you start doing the deep dive on nootropics, do you know what the best nootropics are? Sleep, exercise,
Yeah, but
good diet.
But nootropics
Yeah.
is a term for something other than activities.
Well, no, nootropic is anything that enhances
it's-
performance and function.
But brain function.
Right.
That's true, but that's not how it's marketed
No,
by any means.
100% true.
Because that would be too easy.
And now you'll see, all the big podcasters, they're bringing in celebrities and whatever for their marketing strategies, but it's still a shortcut. It's still looking for an edge that is either synthetic or somehow a short-term boost.
Yeah.
And again, I don't have any judgment about that because I started dabbling, right? I haven't had tobacco in my mouth now for 5 years, but these little pouches are reminiscent of that.
I don't know. I think make your true confession a little bit more true, because I feel like you have used it over the past 5 years.
Oh, no.
So you've only just literally
Pre-pandemic.
You were done?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was because we had gone, I think it was coming back from a camping experience with the boys. And it was like cold turkey. Like, don't do that anymore. Just stop doing that. And I just stopped doing that. But it was before the lockdowns.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, and that's how you know it's an issue, is because I would try to hide it from you. Like, I know you're
Like
smart.
my Diet Coke.
Right. Well, but
Well,
that's
there was
how you
one.
know.
I remember the one time that I found it because you had indicated to me that you were not doing it at all, and I had gone out to the garage, and I don't know why I was in your golf bag. Like I literally was
That's
not
where I
looking. I know, but I wasn't looking. Like, why would I have to go into your golf bag for anything?
That's like me going into your purse. That's a suicide mission.
Right. And so, I'm like, wait. And then I found it and I was really ticked off.
But what you didn't do, and I do remember this now that you're saying it, and I'm wondering, first of all, why are you in my golf bag? But what you also did not do was look at the date on the can. It was ancient. It had been in there for a very long time.
But I knew that
Stale.
you had been doing it back then. It could have been stale in that bag, but you had other ones, other places. Because I remember seeing it and I remember getting reports from your children about it. So, yeah.
Well, that's how you know it's an issue.
Yes,
It's
I know.
when it's creating a desire for deception, you know that it is probably somehow not in your charge. Now, if you told me to stop wearing underwear, I wouldn't do that. If you told me
Really?
to stop, yeah. No.
That seems like it would be
just
easier.
because you don't like I'm doing something doesn't mean I should stop doing it. It just is that I know when it is creating for me an air of the need to deceive you.
Yeah.
That's when it's like, all right, Lord, we're going to have to sit down and have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
But it is. It's like he just took away the desire because it's not easy to quit.
But if you quit cold turkey, then
That's a conviction.
that's a conviction.
Right.
Yeah.
And, but it was, I used to say, oh, I could quit anytime. Or I used to say, oh, when it gets to be a certain amount of money, I will quit. Like when it went to $1 a can, that was a big deal. And now it's like $5 or $6 a can. And so anyhow, somebody introduced me, Graham, our producer.
Who has honey
stepped out
outside
of
the
the room
room
with
for
the
now.
baby.
Yeah.
But one of the things he got when we were getting all the prize stuff for the golf
Yes.
league, this company called Note, N-O-A-T,
Okay. Yeah.
send him like 100
Yeah.
packages.
He reaches
of
out
their-
when they get ready to do their golf event at the end of the year and reaches out to sponsors,
Different
basically.
sponsors that send swag
And they'll
and
send him things and he creates these
giveaways
amazing
and-
bundles of
Right.
packages and prizes for all you golfers. It's
Right.
really fun.
But one of the things that he got was a ton of these pouches,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they were nicotine. I don't think they're nootropic. I think they were nicotine.
Mm.
And then they're in flavors, right? There's mint, there's wintergreen, there's cherry lime.
Mm-hmm. And these are
there's-
pouches.
right. It looks like
Okay.
a small little tea bag,
Yeah.
but they're all bleached,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? The paper that they're in is bleached. The product is full of so nicotine is not a problem.
So that's just it. It's like, okay, I'm glad that you started out by just being honest about the fact that this has been an issue for you in the past.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the
I know.
things that happened.
I hate to
Hang on.
ruin everybody's image of my perfection.
No,
However,
we're just real life people. They know I was addicted to Diet Coke, and that I'll drink a cherry cola every once in a while. And, we have our things. We're just real life people.
Right.
But it was I think 2 years ago now, I had followed some information about nicotine patches through Dr. Artis.
Yes. Transdermal patches, not pouches.
Patches,
Right.
right. And the benefits to long COVID sufferers, and because that's part of who I work with through my client profiles.
Right.
And, just looking for new tools, part of the portfolio of care for the clients. But before I'll ever recommend anything, we usually experiment and see
Do the deep dive ourselves.
Do the deep dive, get the information, but then use ourselves as
It's so funny. I remember the first time I bought nicotine patches, because you can get them at CVS. They don't sell tobacco. That's one
Right,
of their
which I love.
core
It's
values.
really kind
right?
of
You can't
cool,
buy
yeah.
smokeless tobacco or cigarettes or cigars or anything, but they do have nicotine patches for the people who are trying to quit smoking.
Right.
And so I went into our CVS the first time, and I'm thinking, I felt like I was like buying contraband because we had discussed it after reading some of the stuff from artists. And and I didn't know anything about it. I had done zero homework. I didn't know they came in different sizes. I didn't know they came in different strengths. And so the lady at the counter, I said, hey, I want to get some nicotine patches. And she said, what strength? And I said, you're going to have to school me a minute. What, and she said, well, it's this, or it's this. I said, give me the big one. She's really trying to quit. So I'm sure this woman now thinks my wife is a smoker trying to quit. Because I'm like, yeah, give me just whatever the strongest ones are, because she really wants to quit. And the reality was we didn't want them because we were quitting smoking. We wanted them in our arsenal of things that we like to have on hand for a variety of issues. So anyway, I'm going to let you kind of lean into, here's what we're talking about, which is nicotine primarily.
Nicotine primarily, yeah. And I think what we're going to need to do is divide this into 2 episodes. So we'll go over like the basics of it first, and then maybe... we'll flow through. If we have to cut it off, you guys will catch the rest next week.
Well, the reality is it's been vilified. So we're here to say, if you do your own homework, all we did was some homework. We're not genius level thinkers about any of this.
But
You just dig a little.
I think it's important to understand what nicotine is, which you covered nicely already. Nicotine simply activates the nicotinic acetylcholine receptors. And it does have benefits.
So we have
because of that.
receptors built into our bodies for this purpose.
Exactly. So that's what involves the attention, learning, memory, alertness, motor function, recovery speed, and autonomic nervous system
And see,
signaling.
that to me is what makes it so hilarious when people say, well, I smoke to relax. I smoke to relax.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're not relaxing with
You are not
nicotine. It is a
relaxing.
stimulant.
Yeah, it totally is. But that's just it. If you use it too much and improperly, you are going to be basically on fire.
Yep.
In a way.
Yep.
And
So
that's
anything
why
that has merit is also going to have a limit.
it is. But what I was going to say is they used to encourage smoking for women that wanted to lose weight because your metabolism runs so high and you're go, 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 and they would drop weight because of smoking. And that's why people that quit smoking sometimes gain weight.
Right. Because that hand to mouth, part of it is the habit of putting
Yes,
your hand to your mouth.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so if you substitute your cigarettes for potato chips or whatever, ding dongs or ho-hos or your pants get really tight kind of fast.
Right. So a substance can have a real biological benefit
Right.
and still carry a real biological cost.
But that's the same with anything. Like you can
True.
have too
It's
much
just
of anything.
Right. So let's just talk about what a nootropic is exactly too.
All right.
Okay. So it supports the cognitive function like what you're talking about. So similar to the
The
nicotine.
stimulant effect of nicotine.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's really an umbrella term. And I know you talked about
From the 70s, I think.
from the
is when
70s. So herbs and mushrooms, you see nootropics a lot of times around mushroom use. And there are multiple kinds of mushrooms. And
just the kind on your pizza?
not just the kind on your pizza. There's lots of, there's the reishi mushroom, lion's mane. The list is very, very long.
Right.
And then there's psychedelic mushrooms. It's really funny. And then people that see nootropic, they're like, ooh, they almost feel a little bad because, on the...
I'll be doing me some nootropics.
Yes, exactly. They're, I'm microdosing nootropics, and that is not psilocybin.
And for some reason, or for the opposite is true too. Like some people want to do it because it feels a little naughty. The other people are like, no way I'm doing that. That's naughty.
Exactly.
I would never dabble in that.
Yeah.
Mycelium.
But so it's a very broad and kind of messy category. But that's what we'd like to talk about too, because nootropics can be caffeine, nicotine, prescription stimulants, like what I was talking about with Adderall. Certain medications can do that. Then amino acids.
Right. Nutrients are going to have an impact on brain function, whether it's good or bad. You got to figure out.
Vitamins and other dietetic compounds. So it's the marketing people, like you've said before, they rule the world. They rule the world. So it's the trick is just unpacking that. You know, what is it that your body is needing? Can you feed it foundationally and then not need the nootropic
You mean
or
if I actually
the nicotine?
ate well, got good sleep, kept my nerve system clear, I might not need some kind of synthetic way to stimulate myself into huge, happy, productivity?
The cool thing about nootropic compared to the nicotine, because there is some controversy around whether or not nicotine is truly addictive. I have my thoughts about that.
What are they?
Well, my thoughts are that not everybody has an addictive personality.
100% true.
And there are people that 100% for sure may become addicted to nicotine. I can tell you that I used patches and I have not used patches and I never crave them. I never think about it when I wake up in the morning. Like I don't have an addictive personality. So, or chemistry.
Yeah,
that would
chemistry is probably
create addiction.
Because, we've got somebody that we know and care about in the hospital right now.
Right.
And they are using some very high-powered pharmaceuticals to control pain. And that's a blessing for the person who's in pain.
Absolutely.
Dilaudid and fentanyl, these are things that they have a place. But guess what? You don't decide whether you get addicted. Your brain decides whether or not you get addicted. Yeah. And it usually does it within 3 doses of some of that high-powered stuff.
Wow.
So 3 or 4 doses and your brain says yes to that for the rest of your life, or nope, use it as you need it, and I'm done when you're done.
Yes. So will they step him down then to make sure?
They'll have to.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're talking to him, he's laying there and he'll seem just as lucid and awake and with you. And the next thing you know, he's talking about, well, yeah, but I was dancing with elves on the way to Missouri eating donuts. And I'm like, what?
That must be when it kicked in.
And then the next thing you know, he'll just be talking about,
Oh, and then he's asleep.
Asleep.
Oh my gosh.
Wild.
So one of the things that nootropic does not automatically mean, it does not automatically mean that it's non-addictive. Some nootropics may be addictive. That doesn't mean they're clinically proven. So when you see it on, when you're hearing news, this is mostly influencer marketing then. It clinically proven does not mean that it's good for you or, that's what it is.
If your favorite celebrity singer says it's clinically proven to do this, well, that means maybe.
Doesn't mean it's safe for daily use.
Right.
It doesn't always mean it's beneficial for the brain.
Why is that?
Because they are trying to sell stuff.
Oh.
This is what we've been talking about for the past couple of months. It's like,
you
guys, you don't need everything that you see on the internet.
It's so funny. We started talking about this morning, actually 2 days ago, because I had you order me some of the mushroom pouches. So whenever that day was, I had searched mushroom pouches. It's a product called Flow. We'll do a test because they're clean and it's theoretically going to be better than some of the other things from a health benefit standpoint. But as soon as we discussed it, my news feed, my social feed is now full of like 14 different kinds of nootropic or nicotine-oriented products. Yeah. Each one claiming to be better than the other.
Right. Yeah.
Joe Rogan and some other people. I mean, I know Joe wishes his podcast was as big as ours, but I know there's some other podcasters that are, touting. I know you're somewhere
Really?
I just wanted to say that so you can hear me. She's working while we're working.
Yes. So this is part of my brain thing. I'm
she's doing 4 things while we do this.
And you know what I do? I just praise God that He's given me a brain that can handle it. Like I can multitake.
Is that what you think?
Yes, I do. I feel like He's given me very good organizational and management skills that I can take into all of this crazy.
Hey, can we talk about the difference between cigarettes and vape?
Yeah, where are those in the notes? Yeah, we need to talk about that.
That vape thing.
But do you want to talk about synthetic nicotine too?
What's the difference between synthetic nicotine and other nicotine?
Well, the synthetic is produced in a laboratory.
Okay.
So synthetic, that might be, where you have to be careful of what's on your label as well.
Okay.
Tobacco-derived nicotine is from tobacco leaves.
Well,
which
and that's just
God's
it.
creation.
It's a plant that's on the planet, and 9 times out of 10, the plants on the planet have a medicinal value or a reason. And so, yes, anything that's closer to the way God builds it is going to be better than the way anything that's built in the test tube.
Yeah.
Always.
Want to know something else too? Tomatoes and eggplant. They contain,
yes.
They contain, so a lot of times people think of them as nightshades or know them as nightshades and may have an allergic reaction to them. So those people should definitely not be using tobacco either. But tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and peppers. So if you just want a little something, a little nicotine, you can just, open up.
Something.
Right. But it's not a therapeutic source. So you probably don't have to worry about it that much.
But I got to say, that feeling of having that in your jaw. My friends who have used smokeless tobacco understand this completely.
Yeah.
It's a desire that is just, I don't know.
I think about Uncle Gary too, because I know he likes
soothing. Yeah. It's for whatever, and it's a stimulant. You don't do it to relax for sure.
Yeah.
But after a meal or after a good workout or, whatever, just that reach for a pinch between your cheek and gum, it used to be so automatic and so looked forward to. And so I had these pouches the other day that Graham got in the golf thing. And you know what? I thought, oh, hello, old friend. It's been so long since we've seen each other. So then I went on this healthy hunt. I was driving back and forth to Columbus for a few nights anyway. And so I stopped into Speedway for gas. And Speedway is where I used to also be able to buy tobacco that I liked. And so I went in thinking, well, let's just see what they got.
I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
So I got these pouches for nicotine, and the full ingredient list was not on the container.
Right.
So it's like, okay, no worries. I got to get to Columbus and popped one in there. And I thought, oh, hello, old friend. And then when I got where I was going, I popped open their website and read the ingredient list and threw the rest of them in the trash.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely horrible. And the biggest challenge is they have 2 or 3 different kinds of fake sugar.
Right.
Synthetic sweetener and glutamate. And
So if it could just be nicotine,
if it was straight nicotine with some kind of natural
like
flavor,
mint flavor or something.
and if you wanted to sweeten it, because I would imagine nicotine has a bitterness to it otherwise.
Could you not just use
I don't know, like molasses, or I don't know. There would have to be a better way to
I'm
sweeten
thinking
it.
like regular sugar?
But the other thing about those artificial sweeteners is they also make it very, very, very addictive.
Especially if it's aspartame or asulfame K. Those
And they
two
are
very
brain wreckers. They absolutely wreck your neurological function. So while you
I'm
think
going
you're
to
getting...
pop in here about aspartame again, because you
Okay.
guys know I harp about that. But if you want more information about the detriments of aspartame, please get the book. If you can still get it, you might have to get it on like eBay, a used copy. But Janet Hull has a book out called Sweet Poison. It's been out for a very long time.
Hull, H-U-L-L?
Hull, Hull. It's Janet Starr Hull. And it's 2 R's too. So yeah, Janet Starr Hull. And she talks about her personal account of serious illness because of aspartame poisoning.
It is toxic.
And
to the
the
nth
doctors, I don't know if they still don't know about that, but when I work with clients, that's one of the first thing I find out about is like, are you using any artificial sweeteners? Could we just take artificial sweeteners out of your diet, and could you recover just from that?
It's amazing.
It's
We've got people
amazing.
who've done it time and time again.
Yes. It's like
Both our clients and your clients.
you might not need anything except for just take that out.
Yeah.
And then you might need some recovery
Right.
for the things that are challenging you, but you have
Anytime
to stop.
somebody has any kind of brain diagnosis,
Yep.
MS especially, if somebody
MS is
diagnosed
a
with
big one.
MS, my first question is, what are you using that's artificially sweetened?
And then
I
you have
only have 7 Diet Cokes a day. Well, then no wonder your brain's rotten from the inside out.
But some people that aren't actually drinking diet products, it's in gum.
It's in a lot of products that are not
the
diet.
pouches. It's in mints.
Almost
that
every
you,
protein drink that you would buy for muscle growth,
no, that not everyone. You do have to be careful of the
75%
label.
of a minimum.
Really?
Oh my gosh! All you got to do is look at the shelf in a health food store.
Yeah, well,
G&Z.
I guess I don't shop. I don't shop there. I don't
Anywhere.
shop at GNC.
Well,
I'm very
places where the
particular.
average American is shopping
Yeah.
are loaded with products that are not billed as diet or sugar-free. They have sugar in them, but they also have artificial sugar in them for their enhanced addictive properties. It hits the same part of the brain as nicotine.
Yeah.
It hits the same part of the brain as heroin.
Yeah.
You know, these are the parts of the brain that decide you're an addict or you're not, or you want more or you don't.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the challenge is it's not only poisonous, it's also very addictive. It'll make you hide your Coke in the dishwasher.
So yeah, exactly. So there's 3 different delivery methods for nicotine though, right?
Right.
There's the cigarettes and vaping,
Right.
the nicotine pouches, gum and lozenges,
Right.
and then the patches.
transdermal. Yeah.
And so one of the analogies that I was thinking of is that it is like a campfire, a gas stove, and an IV.
I see.
So the route and the speed can completely change the experience,
Okay.
you know, and with the nicotine, it's how quickly the brain receives it that matters enormously. So it's probably why I didn't, you know, for me, it's more of a campfire with the nicotine patches. It just kind of slowly flows in there. The cigarettes and vaping and probably the pouches. I feel like the pouches too, because it's getting into your...
The pouches usually also have some kind of fiberglass.
Oh, yeah.
Because that creates micro cuts on the inside of the tissue, the mucosal tissue, and it enhances the distribution of the chemistry quick. So yeah, within minutes, you have that in your bloodstream.
Yeah, it's crazy how they've thought through all of those things.
Oh yes, there's a significant deviance to the
So
world.
we touched on how addictive it is, but I think that is just nuanced for sure. I think it's going to depend on how much you've used, what your addictive chemistry would normally be. They do say that it is highly addictive, but I can't attest to that.
It's not
because I
addictive to
don't
everybody.
Feel
if
like
it was, nobody
is.
could quit smoking. If it was, nobody
Right.
would be able to not,
Yeah.
you know, because people aren't the same. That's the thing. And nicotine is nicotine, but people are not the same. They're different.
Right, exactly.
Let's go to the COVID stuff. I do
Yeah.
want to touch on nicotine with the long COVID, or what's called long COVID, which is basically the symptoms of COVID vaccine.
Not necessarily. I feel like there's
But
people.
again, not all people are the same.
Not all people are the same. There might have been a shot, but there are people that actually had, hey, Graham, that didn't have the shot and still have long COVID symptoms.
Okay.
You know, it's just their recovery just wasn't full. And that might be something like that they feel like they're sick all the time. They still have brain fog. They have energy issues. They are, you know, just noticing all kinds of odd symptoms as well. And so that all kind of falls under a broad umbrella of long COVID. And so the nicotinic hypothesis is that the cholinergic signaling involving nicotinic acetylcholine receptors,
Good job.
that it can help with that. So because those receptors participate in autonomic regulation, cognition, inflammation reduction, that it could help long COVID sufferers.
Yep.
And I have used it with some clients and they have found remarkable results. A lot of times it's after work that we've done already, you know, some foundational support.
Right.
And then they just need this little nudge.
Okay.
And so, you know, having that as part of, like I said, the portfolio makes it helpful. And only using it when it's necessary or what's perceived as necessary
Okay.
to fill in the blanks for them.
Well, you're right. This could be 2 episodes. And I'd kind of like to put a big red ribbon around this episode, and then we can bring back, because there's other ways to stimulate. Caffeine's a big thing. L-theanine's a big thing. Creatine. There are a lot of other nutrients and compounds that can either enhance cognitive function or sabotage cognitive
Right.
function. I included in my guide the CBD and THC.
Oh, good.
So
yeah. And I think that we should talk about that. Maybe we can do that
Yeah.
as we do the second episode.
Maybe
We'll
we'll
just go
split
through
it
the
up, but
cognitive
we'll send
guide.
a link to the guide, and that way people can have that for their own quick reference if they'd like.
But I feel like, you know, the important thing is read your labels. There are different sources. What was the thing that I put in my mouth, you guys? Was that a mint?
That was a nicotine
Okay.
lozenge.
And what was the brand of that?
It's over there somewhere.
So yes, I use the nicotine patches and I cut
Right
them
by
into
this whole bottle.
fourths.
There you go.
I get 7 milligram patches. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Knick-knack.
Knick-knack. And I cut the 7 milligram into quarters. So I'm only
Right.
using like what the math
Well,
on
7
that.
milligrams is just in a smaller surface area. You're not cutting the milligrams. The
amount
patch is
that you're
saturated with the amount.
you're literally only getting a quarter of what that 7 milligrams is, because it would all have to be on there for the 7 milligrams to get in there.
Okay.
Okay. So it's, it's like less than 2 milligrams per quarter patch.
Okay.
And then, and I don't really feel anything, but I popped one of those knick-knack things in my mouth. We were all kind of like chatting before an episode, and it was weird. So weird. I will never do it again. It was too much for me.
I had 7 for the whole thing.
And Graham had one too, I think. Graham he has some rules around nicotine, which I think is awesome. But we'll break this up and do another episode on some of the other things that have cholinergic effects and acetylcholine effects and what's going on with my adrenal glands. And yeah, absolutely. And also the ways that possibly using all of those things to help, not just for long COVID, but Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. There's a lot of information surrounding that too. And then we'll kind of wrap it up and take it forward.
All right.
But you will have that
we'll put the link to this and you can have it.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, it looks awesome. And one shout out to Jamie O'Brien and her team of fearless leaders down in Nashville, because I've been texting with them this whole time. And so I appreciate your patience. See you, friends.
Bye, ya.
Every bad die, Sean. Bad die. Wow.
It could have been me.
Could have been me.
Woo! That was great. Slap me 5, babes. That was amazing. You are such a good singer. You emote so well.
I know.
And you're so modest.
You.